Black, your BFP Dream Builder here from Beechmont Ford Performance again, and we are once again on the road for garage table discussion. And we're at a familiar place that you know I know and love, and that is the Halderman Museum here in Tip City, Ohio. Today, I'm here with my buddy Paul Rocha. Do I pronounce that name right? Is it Rocha?
It's Rocha. Is the proper pronunciation, but I go with whatever.
Yeah. That's how I answer
Black,
too.
yeah.
So Paul is a big-time Ford enthusiast, and he's done a little bit of everything, owns probably a little bit of everything.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, just got rid of his Ford GT recently.
I did.
And he has a car that's been here in the museum now for a while, and he's going to come down and take it back home to Canada. He's one of those Canucks.
The Canucks.
Yep. And we're going to talk about this car because it's not what you think it is just looking at it here. So this is the original prototype Boss 302.
Correct.
And I'm going to basically kind of let you tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this was the NVH engineering car, and it's a 2011 Mustang GT that was basically built into what we know today as the Boss 302. It has the engine. I believe this is the fourth engine that was in this car. Engineers weren't kind to them. It has GT500 wheels. The seats are non-Recaros. They're embroidered with Boss 302. And it still maintains the button. We call it the O button, but it's a red button so that if anything's going bad during testing, the engineer just hits the button and it kills the car. And it's Kona blue. A couple of things that I like about it is, or one of the interesting features is the Boss 302 stripes on the passenger side are gloss, and the Boss 302 stickers on the passenger side are matte.
On the driver's side.
I'm sorry, on the driver's side, yes.
Yeah.
So that was to, the powers that be would look at that and decide which color or which...
Maybe take a little vote. You know, who likes the back, who likes the gloss?
I'm sure there wasn't much of a vote in those days, but nevertheless, it was an appearance package that was carried out, and that's how they decided whether to go matte or gloss, which I believe gloss won. And yeah, I mean, I've had the car now for, gosh, I want to say 7 years now.
Wow.
About 7 years.
And I know previously, Paul and I were talking, you know, when we got up here today, you also used to own the Bullet prototype.
That's correct. So I was with a nonprofit group before, and excuse me, we managed to get the Bullet prototype from Ford, and it not only was the 08 Bullet prototype, they also did track pack development for it. The seats are out of a GT500. So that, when I left the nonprofit group, they maintained that car, and I brought this one with me.
So basically, is everything else on this car more or less what you would have found on the actual Boss 302s?
Correct. Yes.
So it's got the same exhaust and so forth?
Yes, and even the transmission, everything is Boss spec. In a 2011 Kona Blue GT.
Like on the side, there's no badging, nothing, you know. Matter of fact, the holes have been filled where the...
Yeah, it was a GT, and I believe it's number 17 on the 11 production. It was number 17. And again, you can see right on the engine, it has prototype engines on the side.
Well, I like how clean you keep it. I mean...
Yeah, well, you know. Listen, compared to what the engineers did to this car, this is clean.
That's somewhat of an inside joke, folks, because we had a little story we were talking about before at a car show, and it's a prototype car. You know, he's kind of left it in the condition that it probably looked like when they were done testing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in fact, it's been cleaned once, but not very well, and that's how they gave it to me. That's how it stays.
Yeah. And we were discussing earlier, now, you know, he's got his own secrets here as to, you might ask, well, how do you get a prototype car? I can't tell you.
Nor can I.
Yeah, but I can tell you that right here on the board it says that this car ended up costing him $1.
Correct.
So there's a process that, you know, I guess, can anybody try to get one?
Anybody can try.
I'm
sure if
you're going to have to do the research to figure out what the process is.
Right.
There you go.
And they can't give it away,
yeah.
So they have to charge $1.
Right. Yeah, because the cars are supposed to be crushed.
Correct.
So it's not, let's put it this way, it's not that they wouldn't want to give out the prototypes and sell them, but it's not really financially worth their while.
No, it's not. It's quite the stretch for them to do this.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then there was another question I was going to ask you about the car, and I already forgot what it was. Oh, that's what it was. So we were talking again earlier. This car technically right now is not street legal, but we were talking that you could go through some hoops to maybe get. Does it have a VIN?
It does. It does have a VIN.
Sorry.
That's all right. We're filming here.
I apologize. I didn't see that.
It'll make a nice blooper.
Yes.
It's not the first time it's ever happened.
Yes.
All right, so where were we?
It does have a VIN. It is, you know, for all intents and purposes, a street legal car.
Okay.
VIN is, as I said, number 17.
Okay.
Mustang GT. But when Ford dollared out this car, it's sold on a bill of sale.
Yeah.
So you don't actually get a title with it.
Right.
So you have a bill of sale that says they've sold it to you for $1, but you can't title it.
Right.
So there are ways of going about it, but I'm not really ready to put in the effort. This car is doing what it was meant to.
I get it. As I told you, I have a friend, Norm Murdoch, who bought one of the Ford racing cars from when they moved out of Utah.
Right.
And everybody was like, how did you get that car? Again, different, you know, got to go through the hoops, got to go through the process. And he did go through all those extra hoops to get that car where he could drive it on the street.
Right.
Even though he actually races the car.
Right.
He wanted to be able to like drive it to a show or something.
Oh yeah.
So.
No, I'm not. For me, this is what it was meant to do. It's gonna.
Yeah.
It didn't get crushed, so that's the main thing.
You've saved this one.
Yes.
Good deal. So Paul also told you he's one of the biggest enthusiasts in the Ford circles here, and I'm very fortunate to be able to call you a friend.
Thank you.
And he has something that's called the Mohawk Track Experience. Now, normally, his head looks a little different than it does right now. Yeah. If you've seen Paul before, you know Paul, you know that normally he's
does not have hair. Yeah. No.
So that was I guess we could tell that story real quick.
Sure. Too. So last year, well, first off, Mohawk Track Experience, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before Woodward Dream Cruise at Gingerman Raceway in South Haven, Michigan.
So that's mid-August.
Correct.
The exact
dates. 12th, 13th, and 14th this year.
There you go.
It's a 2.1 mile road course, and well, this is our third year now where we've got the Monday going. Normally it was just, or before then it was just Tuesday and Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And what we've done is, because you know we're all getting long in the tooth, we need to bring some youth into this. So Monday is now exclusively for novice and beginner drivers.
Okay.
And rather than having, you know, someone with very little to no experience and be subjected to people that have been doing this for a long time, they get intimidated because we've all remember, well, at least I remember my first time on the track.
Yeah.
So what we've done is bring, Monday is now just exclusively for novice and beginners. There's no track cars, no race cars, no people with a lot of experience, and there's classroom sessions, there's braking sessions, acceleration sessions, which everybody loves, cornering, whatnot, and we bring it at your pace so that you know you're comfortable with the car, you know what your car is capable of, you know what you're capable of, and you don't have the pressure of, you know, some guy in a race suit who.
Right.
So that's the Monday now, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we go back to the regular schedule where you've got 4 run groups, everything from novice straight up to race cars, guys out there dicing it up, and it's a lot of fun. But this year, last year, Sean Kiernan and Jason Childress put a dare up that I should grow my hair out, and then for charity, we would shave down the center of it and and create a double Mohawk type looking thing. And I, like a fool, agreed to do it. So now what you're seeing is the longest hair I've had in about 16 years, because I've never had hair on the side of my head for the last 16 years.
Well, those two started it, but I happen to know Mike Berardi kind of
he's been really pushing
on the fire.
Yes. Yeah. So Mike Berardi, actually right now, unless someone comes up with a very big donation, Mike Berardi has the privilege of running the clippers through my hair, because he's made the largest single donation, which was greatly appreciated. But now so because of that, he gets to run the clippers through my hair on Monday night at Mohawk after the beginner novice day. And I have to spend the entire Woodward week with a patch down the center gone and two sides, and it needs to be colored. Now Mike wants red, but I'm going to veto red. It's got to be blue or something. It can't be red, because Bozo the Clown was red, and we're not doing red. So
God. Oh, and by the way, we won't go into great detail about all these names that we're talking about, but if you're in the Ford community at all, you probably got to know who some of these people are.
Yeah.
If you don't, Google, you're going to come up with them.
I think everybody knows Sean.
Yeah, Mr. Bullet.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm going to circle back for a second talking about your track day.
Yep.
So I was one of those guys, that had never had any track experience. And one of the best things that happened to me when I went, and it was actually during Woodward Week, our old friend that unfortunately just passed away recently. Scott, yeah. Scott used to organize a track event at Waterford. And they had experienced drivers that you could basically pay a small fee, and they would ride along with you and try to give you tips and help you out and everything else.
Yep.
And I just remember, I cannot remember the gentleman's name that rode with me, but he was a retired race car driver, and he that day had just brought his brand new Porsche 911 twin turbo, and he actually took me for a ride in that later, which was an experience. But I remember the first time we're going around the track, and he had brought the microphones that you could put in your helmet so you could talk to one another. And he said, now listen, when we're going around here the first couple of times, if you think you're hearing me saying, you're doing great, he goes, no, I'm telling you, hit the brakes.
Yeah, we've had a few of those.
Yeah, but it was a fun day, and having that person, do you guys offer that?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So if you've never done a track day, I really say do that.
Yes.
Have a driver go with you, because it's going to make the world of difference to you.
Well, on the Monday, we have, I think on average, we have about 13 instructors. So everybody gets one-on-one.
Yeah.
You get taken out, and then if you're brave enough, the instructor, which a lot of them are race car drivers, they'll put you in the passenger seat and they'll show you how.
That's what happened to me. All of my buddies that were with me, because there was a break during the day where the instructors could take their car out, and he let me ride with him.
Yeah.
And I was expecting to be holding on for dear life, but first off, that car handled like I don't know what, but again, you had a driver that knew what he was doing.
Smooth as fast.
But all my buddies that were standing along the rails there, I said when we were done, they're like, "Oh my God, you guys were flying!"
Yeah, smooth as fast.
Yeah.
So and again, that's what we do, and the big thing, pretty much everything that I do, whether it's cutting my hair, we're almost at $11,000 worth of donations for JDRF.
Yeah.
Mohawk track experience. There's raffles, there's silent auctions, and all the proceeds are also donated to kids' charities. So at the end of the day, I do this because I love it.
Yeah.
I don't do it for money, and the money is just all donated to children's charities.
Right. And you brought up another good point. A lot of us are getting a little older, and and I know I tried to do the same thing, with all the Mustang people and groups that I associate with, is try to attract some younger people into the car enthusiast, not just Mustang, just car enthusiast.
Anybody, get them out there and
Yeah.
have some fun. I guarantee the average person will never outdrive a current Mustang.
No.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
They're so well built that you're not going to outdrive it.
And if you even get an inkling of what your car is capable of, it's amazing.
It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, the feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, because when you're on a track, it's just a whole different experience. And
well,
it's fun.
even this, but I mean, the benchmark for this car was a BMW M3.
Yeah.
And it surpassed it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my car, my 350R, I've been told that, you know, like the Porsches and everything else, there's not that much difference.
Not a lot, no.
Yeah.
So,
of course, you got to know how to drive it.
Well, there's that too. So you come out Monday, I teach you how to drive.
Yeah.
Well, not me, the instructors.
Good deal. Well, anything else you want to throw in?
No, I think that covers everything that I had to say.
Okay. Are we still taking donations for the...
Oh, absolutely,
okay.
yes.
So how do they do that?
If you go on to, you can go onto my website, which is mohawktrackexperience.com, and it'll have the registration for the track event. And on Facebook, on the Mohawk Track Experience page, as well as my own, Paul Rocha, there will be a link with what my Mohawk used to look like. and it'll be a description and a link to make donations there. And again, we're still 3.5 months away. Yeah. I'd love to see $15,000. Yeah. That would be, that would be my goal. Yeah. But we're just shy of 11 right now.
Okay, perfect. And I'll also say, if you've never been to Woodward Dream Cruise in Detroit, you got it. It's just got to be one of those bucket list things.
Absolutely.
I'm fortunate enough, I've been there pretty much every year for God knows how long now.
Yeah.
And it is not a car show, so don't worry about having to have your car spotless and spend hours cleaning your car. You want it to look good, that's fine, that's up to you. But it's more about just the atmosphere, the event.
If you've dreamt it, you'll see it there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Upside down
sit out
band.
in that median and watch cars go up and down,
right.
you will see anything and everything.
That's right. In fact, Ford was gracious enough to give us a parking lot that has been, I think the name's confirmed now, it's the Mohawk Misfits. So we have space for 25 cars, and that is the criteria, is do not clean your car.
Yeah.
Bring it from the track, it'll have dust, some will have grass, but from when they're doing the John Deere thing, brake dust, just
love it.
Let it hang.
Cool. All right, all right, gang. Jeff Black, your BFP Dream Builder, along with Paul, saying bye-bye.